after my T group experience, I actually immediately, which is really stupid of me, but I had planned an executive team retreat for my company.
Even though
And
we
so I
told
went
you not to
immediately
do that.
I didn't read, I'm not very good at reading emails
Yeah.
and like following directions. And so I immediately the next day went to this team retreat and during and we was facilitated. I had someone doing my coach Matt Mochari was there, and so we were doing feedback, like live feedback with me. And I was like, oh, I can do this feedback live. I'm totally fine with it. I've just been through this big experience, like where I got a lot of feedback, so I'm going to be fine with it. And I remember people like he was reading out the feedback, and then somebody, one of my executive team was saying, oh, I think this might be, it was maybe about the way I treated people at the company, and it was negative feedback. Right, it was like Justin treats people like,
Yeah.
he just uses them,
By the
and
way, I
then
never use the word negative. Hang on.
it was
Hang on.
difficult
Interruption.
feedback.
I never use the word negative.
Yes,
Challenging, difficult, not
it
negative.
was.
All feedback is data, never negative.
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
It was difficult. It was difficult feedback about me being, using people and just not caring about them, and I felt it was very unfair. But I didn't know it. I was like, I can accept this. I'm just accepting this feedback. And my coach actually called me out at that moment. He was like, "Stop! It's not safe to give Justin feedback right now. He's very angry." And I was like, "No, I'm not angry. I'm not angry." And you could see in my face, my jaw's tense, my body's tense, my amygdala's firing, and I was very upset because I felt that I was being treated unfairly. And at that moment, it was interesting because that moment really changed the course of our retreat, because then he was like, okay, we need to take a break and you need to go outside and run or do some jumping jacks or something to work out your anger. So like, because you're very upset right now and you're not in a place where you can get feedback and other people are afraid of you. And of course I was like, that's stupid. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not angry. That's stupid. I don't like, it's silly. And then he took off running actually down the driveway of this hotel. And he was like, you can't catch me, motherfucker. And I'm like, what? Like, he's, 15 years older than me at least. And so I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
And I sprint after him. And then halfway down the driveway, he starts
Yeah.
yelling at the top of his lungs, like, ah. And he's like, Justin, you got to just yell it out. And so I'm running after him, yelling. And then by the end of it, I'd worked out this energy and been able to release my, come from my current tense emotional state and go back into them and actually hear feedback. But the interesting thing was it was a short circuit, like him being there and being able to give me feedback in real time and feeling comfortable with that and being able to say to someone's face, like, no, you're angry and you're not able to control yourself right now. That was a big moment that changed the trajectory of that event.
Now, if he had wanted to put himself in that, as we talk about in T group, he could have said, I'm feeling nervous about what's going on here. I'm afraid that you're not fully in touch with some anger you may be feeling. And I don't know what will happen if we don't take a break. So so there's something about, as a facilitator, he may not have had a need to do that. And I'm not saying he did. But I am saying that the more one puts oneself in whatever they're saying, whether it's advice or counsel or questions, the better, the stronger the relationship will get. So, Justin, I'm worried
Yeah.
about you right now. If I was on the receiving of the on end of this, I would be incredibly pissed. How are you doing with it? Might have been a very different way to go. And
Yeah.
that might be and
I I
that
feel
might be a way that one of your direct reports might more easily go.
right. Yes. They were not comfortable being able to say, at that point, being able to give me that direct feedback. To Matt's credit, he probably did say something like that because he's very in touch with the language
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
uh, conscious leadership and being in touch with his emotions and just naming his own emotional experience and not assuming
Sure.
about other people.
Yeah.
I just want to,
Yeah. No, that's
but
good. No, but I think it's a great way to clarify First of all, I think it's a great way to remember that what you hear is not necessarily what someone else has said.
Yes.
Which is another big lesson in touchy feely, right? There's the whole, you encode something based on your life experience and how you see the world, and then I decode it through my own set of filters, and then until I say, so what I heard you say is, you think I'm angry. I don't know what you really said, right?